Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, and I'm really glad to have you guys here. Now, here's the thing. I believe China is going to start to sell treasuries now. But I don't think they're going to dump all of their $1.13 trillion worth of treasuries in like one day. It's not how they're going to do it. I think what they're going to try to do, and I think this is their strategy, because you know what? Trade negotiations have fell to pieces between the United States and China. That's what I last heard last night when I went to bed. It's going to get real now. It's going to get real. The Chinese are really mad, and they're mad because of Huawei. What's happened with Huawei? Their big company, their big telecommunications company, and the 5G network. Maybe it's a good thing, you know. You don't have to worry about 5G anymore. Everybody is worried about 5G. I don't think you're going to have to worry about it now because, well, our telecommunications network isn't going to get revamped anytime soon by Huawei. And people are worried about 5G. They think it's going to... I'm not worried about it myself. But, I mean, a lot of people out there are very concerned about 5G network. Anyway, besides the point, getting down to what I'm saying, I think they're going to dump treasuries, but they're not going to dump them all in one big heap in one day. That's not what they're going to do. What they're going to do is they're going to try to hedge. I think, personally, my opinion, and my opinion only is, they're going to start to try to dump them 20, 30 billion to a time. Small little dumps. Not to upset the apple cart, not to upset the markets too much. And then they're going to try to reinvest that cash. Probably one of their big targets is going to be gold. Quite seriously. I think they're going to start buying gold, and I think they're going to want physical gold with their treasury bonds. That's where I think they're going to move. Gold and silver markets. Chinese love gold and silver. I don't think... They always hated Bitcoin. I don't think they're going to buy Bitcoin with it, really. They could. They actually could buy Bitcoin with it. They could do an enormous... If they were to do this suddenly, the Chinese, right? They could cause enormous difficulties in the markets, like the gold and silver could go through the roof. This is what I think they're going to do, though. This is my opinion only. I think they're going to sell the treasury bonds slowly, and they're going to start buying gold and silver with the hedge, as a hedge. Because basically why I think they're going to do that is if I was the Chinese, that's what I would do. You got to think about your opponent. You got to think to yourself, hey, you know what? What would he do if he was me? You know? And oftentimes you'll find that's exactly what happens. Anyway, let's get started here, and let's open up the charts and take a look at the markets. Today, you know, oh boy, look at this. Service unavailable. I can't get this. Ah, there we go. There's our silver price. Where did they pull that? Service unavailable. Anyway, what we're looking at here today is 1441. Boy, she's down low. You know? But you know, if the Chinese start buying, these prices could really reverse. And we could be looking at in another... and look! Think about it for a minute, really. Really think hard about it. If you was the Chinese and you was crashing out these treasury bonds, well, they're going to turn into U.S. dollars, is what they turn into when you cash them out. You get paid in U.S. dollars. Okay, so now you got these fistful of dollars. You're not going to keep those dollars. You know that the dollar is going to go down in value. You want to reinvest. So what are you going to reinvest in? Well, they already got their country covered. They're gonna right now, to keep their economy going. I heard talk last night that they are going to stimulus everything. And so they're going to have all kinds of yuan flowing into the countries. But they got these extra surplus dollars. What do they do with them? Well, you could invest in the stock market, but we all know the stock market's topping out and going to tank, right? And you can't do that. You could invest in land and real estate, but we know that the land and real estate market around the world right now is getting ready to turn over, and it's starting to fall, so you can't put it there. Well, let's see. Where else could you put it? Well, you could put it in Bitcoin, but Chinese are not really, it's too risky. They don't like risk. Very, very conservative. Gold! Yeah, gold's low right now. It's been suppressed by the United States for years. But then they think to themselves, well, if we go and we buy this gold, won't we drive the price up? Yeah, if we do it all at once. If we dump all of our treasuries at once, yeah, we'll drive the price up. But if we sneak in very stealthily and buy a little bit to a time while the price is low, without disturbing the market too much, this might be their way of thinking, just kind of get a little bit to a time, and build up until we've got all of our treasuries spent on gold. Well, if they do that, even if they try to sneak to do it, they're still going to drive the gold price up to $1,400 over the next few months. Even if they start allocating it on the QT, and they were doing that before, so it's not like they haven't done it before. They've done this before, so it's their most likely move that they're going to do again, especially when things get a little bit rough. This is where I think they're going to head. They're going to head to the gold and silver market, and they're going to try to allocate physical. And we're going to see more bars going from west to east again, like we did before a couple years ago. That was happening on a regular basis. Well, we're probably going to see that start again. And this will drive the gold price up somewhat. Let's take a look now at Bitcoin. Bitcoin today, I was calling for this drop in price. I was thinking it was going to start yesterday, and Bitcoin held its own yesterday, but we got our drop in price. Now we got it. It's finally here. It's come. We got our drop in price down to 71.45 right now. Let me refresh the page. 71.83. This is typically what it does when it's in a bull market. Bitcoin goes up to sets a new price level, and then it drops back a little bit, in a little tiny correction, and then it waits there for a little while, and then it takes another big leg up. And that's what I think's happening. Let's take a look now on cryptocurrency market capitalizations. We're looking at $226.5 billion, with a Bitcoin dominance of 56.2%. And what we're looking at is falling prices in these coins. $237 for Ethereum, $37 for XRP. That was up over 40 cents. 37 cents. Excuse me, typo error. It's not $37, it's 37 cents. I know, honest to gosh, probably some of you are taking your coffee and drinking your coffee this morning, and when I said $37 for XRP, you blurted your coffee, went flying all over the room, and you got all excited and go, Martha, XRP's $37, and I get 10,000 of them. Yeah, we're rich. And all of a sudden you come back and hear me say it's 37 cents. It's like, oh no. Bitcoin Cash, $356. Litecoin, $88.31. EOS, $5.95. Binance Coin, $25.02. Stellar, 12.2 cents. Cardano, 7.9 cents. And Tron is 2.6 cents. And Monero is $79.97. Dash is $134.49. Those are your top coins for this morning. Now, let's take a look at the Dow Jones. I expected a down day today, really. It's starting to sink in, but I would expect it should go down more than just 93 points on the day because of all the bad news coming out of China and the United States. Don't they realize, hasn't it sunk into them yet, that the ramifications of what's going to happen with this extended trade war? How this is going to slow down the world's economy? Don't they realize that yet, or it hasn't clued into them yet? Anyway, whatever's happening, the Dow isn't falling all that much. 93 points is nothing compared to what it could fall if they realize the full extent of the damage that this trade war can actually inflict. But it's not sunk in yet. Anyway, let's take a look now at crude oil. It's up 31 cents on the day, $63.18. U.S. Treasuries. Now, remember I said yesterday it's taken 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Yesterday was the step back. Today they're taking a step forward again. And so we're moving a little bit more toward our yield curve inversion again today, with the low end of the yield curve rising and the high end of the yield curve falling. You know, it's getting awful low in around the 5-year, 2.16%, when the 3-month is 2.40. I mean, the 1 month is 2.40. And so we're getting more toward our yield curve inversion again. That 30 years a stubborn one, but it's fell almost 2 basis points today on the 30 year to 2.82. The 10 years at 2.38, and those are the 2 really important ones. Now, let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. 97.87, you know, and she's rising a little bit today. She's getting up toward 98, getting up close. 97.85 right now as we speak. You know, as Carl Bass said, he said, we're just going to kill the dollar. Well, ultimately, that's the end game solution that has to happen. Because the United States is getting so deep in debt, and China, they're going to have to kill the yuan. So what we got going on here is actually a war to the bottom between these 2 countries of the currency. It's just a currency war. It's not really a trade war. It's actually a currency war. And they're going to keep trying to beat each other down to the bottom as quick as they can go. That's another thing that China's going to do right away, is they're going to start depreciating the yuan. They're going to start right away. China sells the most treasuries in nearly 2.5 years, and this was like a couple days ago. And so this is showing that they're actually starting this process. It says that China sold $20.45 billion worth of treasuries in March. I'm not sure how the process works when they sell these treasuries, how long it takes to convert that actually into cash or liquidity. Maybe it's immediate, or it might take a month or 2 before it converts into cash or liquidity. I'm just not exactly sure how that works. In other words, how long does it take before the Chinese get money in hand when they cash the treasuries in? But they cashed in $20.45 billion of treasuries in March. You know, now what's the numbers for April and for May going to be? Probably something similar or a little bit higher. They're going to start cashing these treasuries out, but in small amounts, and I think they're going to turn to gold. That's what I think they're going to do. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we're going to catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.